Alright, hello everyone, this will be the second part of the Luigi's Mansion No Out of Bounds Intermediate Advanced tutorial, where we're teaching you those harder strats on getting to that next level. After getting comfortable with the game and you want to take it to the next level, we're going to try to explain some of those ideas of what you want to do. So we left, leaving this room and getting ready to go toward Neville here. So there would be a cutscene. Same idea as I spoke before. You want to go directly, directly to the door. Directly to the door, right? I'm going to stress it all. Go directly to the door as much as left. I didn't even do it perfectly there, to be honest with you. Yeah. It's kind of like... directly left to where the doorknob is, right? Don't even have to touch the key. Then you have Luigi getting called by EGAD. You want to mash as fast as you can, alternating A and B through the text boxes. Whatever way you can find a way to do that as fast as you can. For me, I set the controller on my lap and mash with the index fingers. The rare one, but it happens. So you may not necessarily see the controller cam, but I don't think I really need to explain. You don't need to do it the exact way that I do it. Any way that you can do it. A lot of people do it with thumbs. Some people can do it this. I've seen anything. Whatever's faster for you, whatever you feel like doing. I would say if you're trying to do it fast, because you're watching this tutorial, find the fastest way you can do it. So now that we've gotten past that cutscene, we're going to go to Neville. Here. And so, obviously Neville was reading a book and he will show his heart after he yawns, right? Well, actually, I think when I did the beginner tutorial, I don't know if the upper left strat was found at the time. I don't remember if I discussed that in this video, but we'll definitely do it here because it's slightly faster and actually easier once you get comfortable with it. So, you want to line yourself up and time it so that the book, see if you can see where he shows his heart. They actually have it here. If you stand where I am, I've noticed this recently that I don't even have to do anything. Normally you have to time it. I don't even have to time it, it just takes it still. Obviously you still want to be pulling back when that initiation, if that happens. So normally it's like about when you see the book. And how you get to level, or Neville rather, is however you want because you have time to wait anyway. You just want to go back. And make sure you got the tight suck. This is a good time to talk about suck-ups as well. With suck-ups, you pump in the opposite direction every 10 health, right? Well, the least amount of time you spend, like, which I kind of discussed a little bit with the other puncher in the other room, right? But you move it, like, back in the, like, little amount of time that you keep it in the center. You can keep like a really tight angle and still like pull it back the entire time. Sometimes I'm not even like releasing it to the center entirely, I'm just keeping it really tight. So like doing it like releasing it to the center every time. Does kind of like that, which is kind of like, you could say slower, but that's a different way of explaining of why it would be slower too, is that you would be doing the letting it go all the way to the center and then coming back from like what you're feeling. So I keep it a little bit more tight to the angle. What it is, and you got to be a little bit careful because if you don't get a wave and you get a nice twirl, it's gonna be a little bit tough getting to the chest, but you can get there with optimal movement and do your best to get there. This strat really helps in 100% because you can pick up the pearls mostly all and get to the key, as opposed to down left. It's way more important for that category than it is for this one. So if you're more comfortable with the bottom left, it's not going to lose you much time. Quarter of a second at worst, most likely. you go too early, that's what happens, right? I figured you would probably know that, but like I said, I mean, I don't really need to explain where exactly I am here, because depending on where you are here, is going to depend on how you react to it, how you would react to Neville. Just, you know, make sure you're paying attention to your animations being tight, and you have that tight string, and you have everything, all that stuff. Same idea. Gotta always remember the same thing every single time, and know where your destination is and where you're going. I gotta go to the chest, so I gotta be as close to the chest as possible, which wasn't perfect. But you want to be as close as possible. And then I can open the key, and guess what? The key comes out. You know where the spot is, and then you can walk a little bit after it hits. I didn't do it there, but we'll do all of that in one motion. One more time. Notice if you time your pumps correctly and have a really tight angle, the ghost won't even move. Like, he didn't even change direction there if you have enough control. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of stayed one way, didn't change anyway. You kind of like don't allow him to go anywhere. It's also very risky to do that too, because if your angles are off and you don't have good angles, it gives you less room for error, and it's much easier for your vacuum to not actually get Neville. Makes sense, right? So now that you've gotten the key, you obviously want to be as optimal as you can to get to the door. Don't walk over here, don't walk over there. Walk kinda over here, you know, right to the doorknob, straight to the doorknob, and then straight left. I think this is pretty self-explanatory for people at this level, so keep that in mind. But then you get to this doorknob, and we will have a safe state for this. So, a lag reducer, because there's so much lag in this room. At least so much lag in this room, a lot of lag in this room. Because of the leaves and the wind that comes in. And I think it's mostly caused by the leaves, so we try to get rid of the leaves. And depending on where like Lydia goes, if she goes above it, you'll automatically suck up all the lag that's happening, and it'll be a little bit faster than if she stays down the whole time. So it's controllable, but not very easily controllable, because like I said, it's very hard to keep a ghost to go where you want him to go all the time. You're not going to get a ghost like Neville where he stays in one spot the whole time and you know where to go. Very hard to do something like that. Let's see if this can focus here. Alright, so I keep my flashlight off for lag purposes in this room until, like, see, about mid-area. And then I'm going directly for the corner so that it pulls the sheet off. I don't go like, used one, right? I don't go, well, first of all, I don't press R over here. There's a couple of reasons why I don't press R back there. Number one is because when you move with a vacuum in your hand, it's slower than if you don't. So you want to minimize your movement with an active vacuum as possible. Plus, keeping in mind of what you have to do ahead of time. If you have to have the vacuum out the whole time to keep it as fast as possible, then you do. In this case, you don't, to a point. But you don't want to walk into the room and be like, let me open the curtain from over here and then pull it over here. You know how you kind of like did that a little bit slower? You know what I'm saying? And you can't even press start here until after the cutscene's over. Something I actually didn't realize until now. But anyway, you learn something new every day. But anyway, you want to go straight left so that the camera or the curtain will just come all the way out for you right there. So just like optimal movement, exactly where you want to suck up Lydia from is top right. So go straight for that placement. Straight for it without a flashlight. And then you can use this type of technique where some people will like pull the leaves out first. So they'll take the leaves and then pull it out. And obviously there won't be any lag in this version because I'm using emulator to help me out with like save states and whatnot, but generally in a realistic run you'll have lag. So you want to keep that in mind, you know. So flashlight off, vacuum, A lot of people just hold down L the whole time and just waits and the vacuum is like ready. I tend to do something like that. That's another one you can do. I always try to get a little bit of the leaves, like the leaves are right there. This has been a little bit awkward of an angle for me to get like a tight angle, but it's the same idea. Try not to release too far to the middle, don't let her take control of you. If she's over your head, if she goes over your head and you can't do anything on top right, which happens sometimes, that means that your angle was not controlled enough and she went over your head, and that just means you have to, because a lot of people don't even know what to do there, you just have to start sucking around this way. And you'll be able to like regroup yourself again. Suck right back this way, and sometimes you'll go back, and obviously same thing here as well. You want to get to the chest. Let's get to the chest too. This is where that cutscene movement comes into play, like right when the lights are starting to come up, you have that like little bit of time that you can move. This is when it really comes into play, because you can like barely make this as well with, same thing with Neville, to be honest. Like both of these portrait ghosts, to get right to the chest, you gotta like know your like optimal movement there. Now just memorize where the key drops here, just like anywhere else, and don't chest glitch like me. Chest glitch is caused by you like not being at a direct angle on the chest, like you have to open it at like a perpendicular angle, I think is the correct saying. On the chest, you can't open it like this, but you can open it from like a backside because it's like at that angle. But yeah, you just want to memorize where the key is, and then pick it up. And then move with it at the same time as it drops, as usual. Another good thing you see me use there as well, that can help you, because instead of me having to like do that whip around like I did the first time, I just held down L the entire time, so that I had my vacuum out and I was able to angle myself right here. Because if I just sucked her up and then took it down, then I would have had to do this movement again, which is a little bit harder to do. So it made it a little bit easier. I just held down L and moved myself right in that little bit of time between the cutscene, so that I would be here. Open the chest, move to the door, optimally, straight angle to the door. You got a cutscene. We'll have a save state before the door, we'll get past the cutscene. So Chauncey's room, we have a lovely Chauncey ball. Same thing, you want to go like right to where the goal is, because we have to use the rocking horse to wake up Chauncey, right? So we don't want to go too close to him, because if we get too close to him, that's going to take me longer to get to the ball. When I gotta hit him with the ball, right? So I don't want to be all the way over here. They go all the way back here and then do that, but you also don't want to be so far away that it's either really slow to get the vacuum going, get the rocking horse going, or it just doesn't go at all. Most of the time it's just the doesn't go at all part. There's a little bit of space in there where you can like aim in the middle and it just not activate. There's like a middle area somewhere. Yeah, see, if you're like in the middle, your vacuum's like right in the middle, nothing will happen. It's like a small little area. It's almost hard to do by accident. Well, very easy to do by accident, very hard to do intentionally. You do it in runs all the time and you can't explain it. It just happens too often in runs. But sometimes you'll just go down there and nothing will happen. First of all, let's get the idea. You want to go down right, because I normally do like an exact, or actually down left. I guess this wouldn't be down right. Down left angle. So down left. And then you're right in line with this part of the rocking horse, right? So that you actually get it sucked up properly. And get it moving. And I have like the down the C stick and all that good stuff. And then you want to move out, get used to the timing and move it back to the ball. So that you're closer to the ball. You know, closer to the ball. You want to even out your spacing between things so you do everything collectively faster together, basically. So now that we kind of have that idea, basically you want to get to the ball as fast as you can now because you like want to hit them with it as fast as possible. So you want to get to that ball. You have just like a little bit of a turn of left there. You just want to fling it at them, and people do a lot of memes. A lot of times people will go off walls and all kinds of stuff they want to do while they're waiting for the cutscene to start. You do whatever you want, I don't care. You can do nothing like I did if you want. Make sure you're going back to the ball, not back and then over. You know, none of that, just right to the ball. It seems like I'm repeating myself with the movement type of idea. Like, me included, myself, I don't realize this type of stuff with everything that I do. I do a lot of optimal movement, and I'll say, no, I don't do it there. You know? For some reason, I don't remember to do it there, and then I just lost that time. And it goes half a second. So I'm going to try to remind, just in case you happen to forget it there, like it happens to me. Once you've done that, we have a boss fight. We're going to stay right there. So it's pretty simple, right? You go just straight right in the beginning to get the rocking horse. Straight left. And then we talked about this before, you line yourself up like directly with these two lines. That's what I do. Or is it these two lines rather? And then right when I see the ball, I move back down left. Then shoot up at him and go. One thing you want to keep in mind and know out of bounds, you don't need money. So you can you can use the advantage of pushing Chauncey forward while he's doing the attack. Something more recently that we did. So like you'll get rid of money, which potentially could give you low percent if you avoided pearls in area 1. Would save you a full second, or it saves you like a few frames if you don't have any coins, whatever ends up happening. Or sometimes you still have coins left. You try to get rid of them all if you can. That was what we used to do, just get rid of coins, but you can also move Chauncey like forward as well, depending on what he's doing. First thing you don't want to do is you don't want to like let me get back to this. You don't want to go under him first. That's just like a half a second. You don't want to go under him. You see how it took him a second to go down and then start going. You want to wait for him to go down and then get hit by him. And if you time it right and time your spacing right, you can actually push him a little bit forward, like I kind of did there. Push him a little bit forward by being on the back end of him so that he goes in that other direction. That makes sense. Now if I get hit in the right spot here, you'll actually do the same thing here. Happened a little bit there. But he kind of bounces. He bounces on the lines. He bounces on these lines here, and this line, or this line and that line. So you have to kind of like line yourself up with that and be in line with them, because it's kind of hard to see depth perception in this game, obviously. So I messed him there. It's not always an easy thing to do consistently. Anyway, you get the idea. You lose coins, and you're trying to push them forward. You can, if you do it perfectly, you can like eliminate like one entire bounce sometimes. Not sure exactly how much it saves, but probably saves at least a half a second or a little more. I think I've had like 3/4, it felt like. So it saves a little bit more. So now we have the second phase, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. You go right, you go left. You get hit by the next one. You do want to, I probably didn't say this in the beginner one, you do want to get as far up as possible when you get hit by this rocking horse. This happens to a lot of good runners. They don't go as far up on this, so they don't get hit like instantly, because you want to get hit and you want him to attack, do his little thing that he does when you get attacked as fast as possible so that he stops. Because it's slower for him to not, well, slower for him to do that animation than to not do that animation, but we're canceling that out by saving time by picking up the ball later that we're going to do later because of the invincibility frames. So when we're doing that, you want to go as far up left as you can and then move like as far as you can up, and I try to get hit by the furthest right portion of it so I don't get pushed so far back to the left, I guess, the other way from what you see the webcam. Excuse me. And then you'll get hit. Just make sure you're as close to the railing as possible so you're not wasting time like letting the rocking horse come to you more and more and more and more, you know what I mean? And then the baby will do the attack after that. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like way back here. If I get hit by the rocking horse like way back here and then he does the attack, not only am I going to be further back, but also it took that rocking horse longer to get to me. So like right away. Okay, good, I'm actually at the beginning of this. I thought I had that. So as far up as you can be. That's fine too. You want to tap the wall. I do normally do it twice, but I don't have enough time to do it. The timing for this is really feely. I don't have like a number for you because I don't use a number, to be honest. It's just sometimes the 2 takes too long if I'm too far away. I only do 1 tap and pow for a different type of feel because it's just different. If I get hit as far as I can here, though, I'll do 2. A lot of times I'll tap more left and then do that. But you see kind of the timing that I do here. I kind of look at like myself, stand straight up, pick the vacuum straight up, and then move back. And then by the time that happens, I've timed it correctly. So like, hit once, hit twice. I did the second one slow, so that wouldn't have worked. Continue. And if you accidentally do something like that, you just have to know to be a little faster. But yeah, you just have to like time it on the like left pillar that's closest to him, that's right here. Hit the first time and then hit the second time, and then you should be able to go like up, up, and then back. You know, stand there, press R, go up, and then go back. It kind of times it together for me normally. Up, back, boom. A lot of times I'll try to get like the corner of the vacuum more than straight on. It's a little bit easier on grabbing it. A little bit more consistently as well, grabbing it like a little bit off to the side as opposed to trying to go straight on, because obviously the vacuum is a little bit to the right. That's one of the reasons. But you know, like using it a little bit to the side, just, you know, kind of work with it and see what works best for you. And do the best you can with this chest to turn around and get like a good angle to open it. It's very easy to like do that. That's a lot of optimal things. The people open it from there, open it from in front. I normally turn around and open it from in front like this. As long as you're turning around and doing it as instantly as possible, making sure you're not getting chest glitch, making sure you're turning around all the way to get it open so you can get the key. And continue on with the adventure of all lands to new planets of which you've never been. Or at least Luigi has not. You probably have because you're in the advanced tutorial, so I'm assuming you've been here before. So anyway, there's no need for me to show you the cutscene. I don't think I need to advancedly show you how to go through the cutscene. So we will continue this tutorial into Area 2. Hope I'm helping anyone. Ask any questions if you need help. Again, I can't know what everyone needs exactly. Won't be able to explain everything perfectly the first time, but we have a little bit more in depth of an idea so that you can get yourself a little bit closer to where you want to be. You want to take this game to the next level. So yeah, we will see you next time.